Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Zelda Stink Runs. I thought that I had time for a shower before I got this going, but I super did not. So Zelda Stink Runs. Very exciting race today for you guys. We have a main bracket race between Jeezhs and Anno. Check it out. There it is. Hell yeah. Okay. We have everything pretty much set up. It looks like the racers are also ready to go. So we can get this right off to the races. Here in the booth with me, I have Morgan and Spicy. They're gonna be taking care of you today. Take it away, guys.
I think Jeezhs has been on the file select screen for about 15 minutes now.
That sounds right, yeah.
I really hope dude has another console he's been warming up on or something.
I'm starting the timer.
Anyways, it'll be a fun race. Both these very skilled runners, both of them have been very consistent in the tournament so far. So hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully we'll get through this race without any, major mistakes.
I'm actually very excited about this race because we have insane high-level runners here, so yeah. Anything could happen in TP, as we all know.
Yep, I mean, notably Anorakkis is the world record holder in the low transforms category, by virtue of being the only person to complete a run. But hopefully today he'll be transforming a few more times to save time. Man, I feel like I was just doing this. Anyways, let's see how everybody does with the gate.
The gate of pain. Oh, and picking up the rock again
I know.
and pausing.
I'm not sure what's happening here. Well, Jeezhs is done back in time.
That was a good pick in time from Jeezhs.
Okay, I know what happened. I think Anno got that thing where if you plug in the controller while slightly holding the L trigger, it can like make it not work until you reset the controller. That's annoying. Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, not too bad of a time loss.
Yeah, not too far apart. I mean, in the end, it is the gate of pain, so...
Yep, Jeezhs threw very quickly to Koro here. 142 for getting the lantern is, what you'd expect from a first try gate clip. So Anno only about 25 seconds behind. That's nothing to be surprised by at this point. I mean, this was a weird way to have trouble with the gate, but having trouble with the gate is incredibly normal. Also, nice roll into that cutscene. He got that so close to the cutscene trigger that he actually didn't have to walk afterwards. I've only done that a couple times. And everybody just rolling on through North Farron.
Just keep rolling. The standard stuff.
Yep, you'll see lots of rolling. It's the fastest way to move around as human, other than riding Epona.
This one slope, we just got over is also one of the important ones to roll past.
We will see a opponent a couple times, but usually it's not going to be worth the time to call her. But yeah, as Spicy pointed out here, there's a little bit of nuance to rolling. You ideally want to be timing it so that your rolls happen at exactly every 20 frames, and rolling up or down slopes is slower, so there's a bit of spacing the runners are thinking about to make sure they spend as little time as possible rolling on slopes. In addition to your usual, pathing, vectoring, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, that didn't even need an auto spin, that just jump attack.
Yep.
Destroying the cage.
Insta-cage from Jeezhs 406, very good for a race.
That's insane with the safe back in time.
Yeah, you can go a bit faster. I want to say people have gotten sub 4 cage with safety bit, but not by very much. And 438 cage from Anno, so yeah, about 30 seconds apart now. This could definitely change after Goats and Bow. We've got 2 RNG heavy sections at this point.
There might be some ports.
Or there might not.
No, there might not.
Like a good start for Jeezhs here. Ooh,
Oh no!
lost it
This
at the
goat
last
just
second.
didn't want
That's
to go in.
oh
Eh?
my gosh.
Can this goat please react? Thank you.
God, that's awful. Just horrible RNG for Jeezhs there.
Yeah, everything was perfect until this goat.
Yeah, it being one of those goats that just doesn't want to pay attention to you is, the icing on the cake. And Anna's not having any
Oh my god,
better
this is
luck. Oh,
also
goodness.
one hot. Oh my god.
Well, he gets it done. A nice opponent slide there from Anna at the end of Goats. A trick that isn't useful in this speedrun, though, and it does show up a couple other places. Anyways, Jeezhs now on his way to fight Bow for the Iron Boots. This is, of course, another RNG heavy sequence. Bow's attacks during the sumo fight are randomized, but hopefully Jeezhs can get this over with quickly. Good start. And gets one cycle by mashing A between 12 and 15 times a second. Let's see if he can do it again. Looks good.
Very nice. Alright.
Yeah, it's a very good Orden intro from Jeezhs, especially for a race.
$7.22. Yeah, that's incredible
Yeah,
for
that's-
a race.
That's faster than I've ever done it.
And he's doing safe bit, so that means
Oh,
something.
I do safe bet.
Oh yeah, right.
But my boots gold was like a 728. And unfortunately,
Mine
Anno not
is
having
740.
perfect bow RNG here, though as long as he... Well, I was gonna say as long as he doesn't dodge, it'll be fine, and then he dodged.
Still
Just a lot of
making
bad
it.
luck
Nice.
for Anno here in the intro section.
Absolutely. First couple seconds determined by RNG and also the L button.
Yeah, so Jeezhs is closer to 45 seconds ahead at this point. Still well within the range of, one Hugo failure. Could turn over again in just a few minutes. One interesting thing about top level runners like these going for some of the harder tricks in Arbiter's Grounds is this run will basically stay anyone's game until about the 2-hour mark after Arbiter's Grounds. Plenty of opportunities for lead changes. Anyways, both runners now into the castle sewers section. This is the wolf intro. And Jeezhs attempting to go for the fast cutscene here, but I don't think it quite worked out.
It was fine. I mean, he still dropped down, so.
Oh yeah, you
Fine.
can do that worse. A good box break from Anno there.
I never saw this movement. Normally I just dash cancel down from the platform. But Jeezhs just dash down and then did the B attack. That's also interesting.
Yeah, there are a couple ways you can do the movement in here. Really kind
Always
of more
love to
runner's
see the
preference thing.
differences. Just to see
Yeah,
what's
good.
possible.
Text skip from Jeezhs there. Jumping in a precise angle there to knock the rock down, but avoid the trigger for Midday yelling at you about it. And nice analog glitch for Jeezhs there.
Yeah, to see it.
Yeah, sometimes coming out of cutscenes or in a couple other specific situations, the control stick can get
Yeah,
like
was
stuck
just
in this
about to
weird
say
state.
this doesn't work. Oh no.
Yeah,
Anno
Anno
missed the rock
unfortunately
2
having trouble
times.
with that text skip. And now you can see the text that Jeezhs was able to avoid earlier.
What are you doing?
It's what we're all thinking.
At least the one frame. Alright,
And
1, 2,
Anorakkis
here
getting
go.
Anorakkis getting the stupid jump that only
Oh
Anorakkis
yeah,
goes for
right.
in rooftops.
Completely forgot about this.
According to him, it saves 3 frames, but if you fail it, you bonk and fall down.
It is sometimes safe.
But he's really consistent at it. I can't even say it's a bad idea because it works for him. Anyways, G's now approaching Sword and Shield skip. We're dragging this Boltman over to the entrance to Fair and Twilight. Normally Midna wants us to clean up some stuff in Orden before we go here, but since we did back in time in the beginning to be able to get the iron boots early, we can't do that. So instead we're going to have to do a enemy long jump attack off this Boltman here. It's fairly precise, and it's kind of RNG based because...
Slapping, man.
Yeah, he's really giving Jeezhs a hard time here.
Okay, that was a
Yep,
good
looks
no
good.
slide. Alright.
So Jeezhs has made it through the early game. That kind of first 15 minutes up until Sword and Shield skip is... Oh, it's a cause of lots of resets if you're going for PB attempts. There's lots of ways to lose so much time in there, but 1350 interferon is very nice for Jeezhs there. And Anorakkis, looks like may have had some trouble here. Oh no.
Oh. And that sucks.
Yeah, not sure exactly what happened there. That might have been a like first frame jump attack when it was going for a back hop or something. So I feel like you don't see that particular failure too often. But yeah, unfortunately for Anno, this means he has to reload the area and try again. So he'll be losing probably another 80 seconds or so here.
Yeah, it's about 80.
It depends on how long you spent, getting Hugo into position in the first place. But the silver lining for Anno is at least it was a quick failure. I've had attempts where he takes 30 seconds to get
you
to a good
take
spot and then I
so
fail
much
it.
time. Especially for a race, you really want to make sure that you can get it, and then failing it, it just hurts.
Absolutely. Anyways, hopefully you'll get it the second time. Oh my gosh, the same thing again. That's unfortunate.
Those first frame backups, they are so annoying when they happen.
Yeah, for some reason this only happens as Wolf. It's not the case while human. If you want to do a backflip or a side hop, you have to hold the direction on the control stick for at least one frame before pressing A. Otherwise, you just get a jump attack. And it's kind of one of the more common ways to fail Sword and Shield skip, especially in a kind of higher pressure situation where you might be moving your hands a little faster than you're used to. And unfortunately getting a little bit out of Hugo's aggro range there. Anyways, let's see how Jeezhs does with early Master Sword. And he's actually going for it on the left side. Oh, unfortunate. If you get that, it's a little bit faster.
That's cool. I didn't know he does this strat. That's cool.
Yeah, a couple runners do. It's not really... It's very similar timing to the other version of the trick. It's just a matter of knowing where the position is. And nice second try. So Jeezhs now
nice
jumping down to Sacred Grove.
Finally through solid cheat skip.
Definitely a bit of a wider gap now, but it's still very much anyone's race.
Yeah, we're still in the beginning of the race, so there are so many things that can still happen, like Morphle, obviously.
Yep, Morphle can happen. One of them could fall out of bounds on the quick climbs in Snow Peak. That could happen.
Oh wait, you can fall out of bounds then?
Apparently. Prince says that's why she doesn't do it. I've never actually seen it happen.
That's completely new to me.
Yes, we didn't mention it at the time, but both runners here are completely ignoring the Farron vessel. They're both running the optimal Empty Lake Hylia route, which will be able to completely skip Fair and Twilight using a trick in 10 minutes or so.
This does also mean that this time we can actually see who's ahead and who's not, instead of the routes like splitting apart.
Yep, definitely. Also, yes, Grand UK, Anno lost a few minutes to Sword and Shield skip. So some time in Orden. And unfortunately, Jeezhs not quite getting the drop down during the cutscene there. And picking up a skull. And getting Skull Kid checked. This is not a great couple seconds for Jeezhs there. I mean, you know, very minor time losses, but I've had that happen before. It's just frustrating.
It's just a big annoyance.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see how Anno does with early Master Sword. I believe he also usually goes for it on the left side. And he'll do so here. Very nice.
Amazing. Cool.
And now Jeezhs onto the Master Sword puzzle. I assume you'll have no trouble here.
Assume.
You never know. And now he can collect the Master Sword. So you see, this is a very useful item, which is why we've kind of gone out of our way here to get it as early as possible. You know, the Master Sword it's a good sword. That'll be useful in a couple spots where we can use it to one-cycle bosses. But it also allows us to transform and warp whenever we want, which will be very useful in the coming sections.
I think early Master Sword saves 20 minutes or so. About just
Yeah,
casual.
I'm not certain. Well, depends on how good you are casually, I suppose. I think Anno got the drop down there. Yep, looks good. Yeah, it is possible to compare because Twilight Princess HD can't do this trick. But 20 minutes sounds about right. Interestingly, it is possible to pick up the Master Sword as human using glitches. If you have the hero's clothes on, as these runners do, it causes a very funny cutscene. But actually, it's possible to get there with the Orden clothes. And if you pick up the Master Sword like that, the game crashes. I think because it tries to put Link in the hero's clothes that he doesn't have. It's a funny little thing. It's actually kind of annoying for routing in some extended categories. But I think what's happening is normally in a casual run, you'd actually be wearing the Zora armor still from fighting Morpheal, and they figured you don't want, you know, Fish Link in the pivotal mid-game cutscene.
You don't want Fish Link.
So it puts you back in the hero's clothes.
And changing tuning in autumn clothes as well. Not
Yeah,
pretty
I think
much.
it's the same crash. You
That
can do
also
that
makes
in...
sense. I think when you try to change clothing in bow,
Yeah.
that would also crash. Fishling, Bestling. Yeah, I don't know. We don't collect the Zora armor sadly, and also not collect the magic armor as well. So we'll be sticking to Hero Link.
Yeah, picking up the magic armor is a bit of a time loss. Does take some time to get to.
That's the light time.
Anyways, Jeezhs is now on his way to the Forest Temple. You don't need to finish the Forest Temple for the same reason we don't need to finish Fair and Twilight, but the boomerang is there, and it's both required to beat the game as well as a generally useful item.
Yeah, and mostly for the important sequence breaks of Gorge Skip and most importantly, of course, Farron Escape. Which makes a lot of the route even possible.
I think the most important thing you're doing in the boomerang is the double LJ to get to Deku Toad, so you don't have to do that whole second side of, or first half of Lake Bed like Lee does.
Yeah. Yeah, yes. I was just trying to think, wait. What
You
do
can also do the
things
pot push, but
normally
the pot push is really hard.
Yeah, that's the thing I know. That there's a pop
Anyways,
push possible.
G's now on its way to the Forest Temple. We'll see him doing back in time again once he gets in to set a flag for having the first 4 monkeys.
Oh
I thought there was
no.
a way to do fan skip on Wii, it's just like dumb and probably doesn't save time. Looks like he's got the second frame for the pause buffer there. Back in time, of course, a frame perfect trick, but we've got a few ways to make it easier when we need it. It's nice. It's not, Twilight Princess isn't a back in time heavy run like Skyward Sword, but a couple places.
At least there's some things we can make use of.
Yep, G's now is set a high value for what we call the boss flag, which controls boss intro cutscenes and also the number of monkeys you have in the Forest Temple for some reason. So the game probably now thinks he saved about 30 of the 4 monkeys in this area. And unfortunately getting the sword flourish after killing the bottom there. Normally at this point in the run we're supposed to have the slingshot, but we don't have the slingshot because we did back in time, which actually locks us out of it. So we have to kill these spiders with Deku Nuts. And I don't think Jeezhs is going to be able to skip the second one here. Nope.
You would
I'm wrong.
try. But that might
I
work.
did not expect Nancy to spin that far.
That's cool.
That's very clean.
Nancy paid off. Let's go.
Anyways, and Jeezhs magically has monkeys.
They just spawned.
But yeah, that lets us go directly to Ook for the Gale Boomerang, and not have to spend a few minutes actually saving the monkeys. Like, well, I was going to say like No Saving Quit does, but No Saving Quit does a different glitch to get here.
Let's see the Ook gems. They are also RNG, and we get the perfect one. 2 gems is the minimum we can get on.
Yep, it's about a 25% chance for that. No, it's exactly a 25% chance for that.
Yeah, exactly 25.
Yeah, absolutely, Teabag. Jeezhs is on a great pace here. And it looks like Jeezhs is going for mem card strats. He's switching between different memory cards. You always have a blank file to save warp over, which is slightly faster. And well, it looks like the runners are one forest temple apart at this point.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jeezhs is now basically done with Farron. He'll be coming back here a couple times briefly in the rest of the run, but always to immediately leave. So he's now on his way to Kakariko Gorge to hopefully get all the way to Kakariko. Meanwhile, not getting good RNG for Spider Skip, but at least not having any trouble with the Deku Nut throw on the second one. And G's now setting up for Farron escape. He'll do a long jump attack with the boomerang here to get over text trigger, telling Forbidda would tell him that he needs to finish the Twilight first, but he's, as I said, he's done here. He doesn't need anything else.
And this is just basically an area where we can go fast to Farronfield.
Yep, it's time for some wolf dashing.
At least for a brief moment.
The first thing Jeezhs is going to do here is do another long jump attack to skip a postman trigger. You do not need to talk to the postman. Very nice. And G's now on into Elven Twilight. You're supposed to approach this area as human, so the cutscene actually starts with Link in human form.
Alright, time for Gorge Void.
So it looks like at this point, G is about 3.5 minutes ahead. See if he gets Gorge Void. It's a 1-frame jump attack between 2 cutscenes here.
Not getting it.
And unfortunately, he misses it. So what this means is at this point, Midna is going to force him to warp back to Farron Woods. Ideally, Jeezhs would have done the jump attack into the gorge to skip that, go directly to Kakariko, get the Kakariko portal, and then come back to finish this sequence, so that later he can warp directly to Kakariko instead of having to run there again. So he's lost about a minute for that.
So if Anno manages to get Gorge Void, then we might actually see a slight route difference.
Yep, we'll see. But G is now doing Farron escape again. I believe at this point he'll be going to Onairu. Yep, and it does look like that. Well, Twilight kind of happens in two segments. There's a, kind of intro sequence where you just get up to Zora's domain and go somewhere else, and we don't... Casually, you're supposed to do that and then immediately do Linear Twilight, but in this case, we're actually going to do it a bit early. Just happens to be convenient. Nice gate clip there.
Yeah, it's very convenient that we can go to Linneu earlier. Don't want to do Goron Mines just to do that.
Yeah, that gate clip is actually a pretty major sequence break. Because nobody wants to go to Goron Mines.
We don't want to do all the text displacement shenanigans and all that, which would make the run significantly longer and also harder.
Yep. Anyways, let's see if Jeezhs is going to go for card grounding or if he's smart. Looks like smart. Yes, both runners are doing empty like Hylia. And Anorakkis gets Gorge Void, so we'll see a bit of a route difference here because he's going to go directly to Kakariko. So what we'll be doing here is using this rupee to get a long jump attack up on the fence. The rupee will cancel his momentum.
Very nice.
And nice card clip from Jeezhs. They were getting out of bounds during this fight to skip that bend in the middle of the track. And nice board skip.
Alright.
So we'll see Jeezhs have to come back to do that same trick later.
So I now catched up about 50 seconds, I think, to Jeezhs now.
Yep, definitely closes the gap a little.
Which is cool, we want to have a good race.
Anyways, we'll now see Anno going back out to the gorge, since we do need to finish that whole sequence, with Midna forcing us to warp to South Farron. That's what gives us the ability to warp from the map screen, which is required for a trick later on in the game. But it's much nicer to be able to defer that forced warp to when we actually want to go back to Farron. For some reason, the trigger for continuing the sequence is just absolutely massive, so we can hit it from the other side of the gorge too. The optimal Wii any percent route actually uses that because it's the only way that it has to get back over the gorge at that point in the run. So now Anno will be going to Lanayru to do the same intro sequence Jeezhs is just finishing up right now. But at this point, Jeezhs would like to just warp directly to Kakariko and start Elden Twilight, but of course he can't do that, so he's going to have to go back to South Faron and run all the way up again. This is the section that that Gorge Void skips. And Anna, unfortunately, I think he had a bad initial position for Faron escape.
And that's usually the issue. I mean, you're always trying to squeeze in like another unit to make sure you can do it, and then you even hit the trigger accidentally, so it's kind of precise to do so.
Yeah, this trick actually barely works. And Jeezhs will have to do that postman skip again, unfortunately. Because you kind of have to take a weird angle to get to the, to avoid the postman trigger on the way around. It's actually, if you fail Gorge Void, it's actually slightly slower to do the postman skip. But of course, nobody plans for failing Gorge Void. Golden, both runners are on original hardware. I believe both of them are playing the GameCube version of the game, but I believe both of them are actually on Wii consoles. I do have a couple runners who have been playing emulator in this tournament, but these two are on console. Anyways, let's see how Jeezhs does with Rupee Roll. In fact, we'll see a slightly different setup from him. Anorakkis uses a timing-based setup that makes aim less precise, but most runners prefer to free aim to a precise position and get more lenient timing based on that. A couple different ways to do it.
We also saw this incredibly long Ruby text.
Oh yeah.
Jeezhs is playing on the French version, while Anna is playing on the English version. I think they are about the same time from language, but that is only because Jeezhs can skip getting rubies. There's a bug
we'll
in
see that
the
later.
text of fire, so that he can pay for the cannon to sit in the sky without using rubies.
Yep. Because the text is generally slower on the French version, that actually loses a couple seconds over German, which is optimal, but Anna is playing on English, which also loses a couple seconds over German, but in completely different ways. So they'll be about the same on language differences. But yeah, we'll notice throughout the run that Anorakkis is collecting rupees and Jeezhs isn't. And good Kargrak out of bounds for Anorakkis as well. And Jeezhs now starting Elden Twilight. So he's still a bit ahead of Anorakkis in absolute terms.
Yeah, but not too much. Anno just needs to get the porter and then just warps back, so... I mean, we'll see when he gets there to see on really how much they're apart.
Yep. Elden Twilight, which Jeezhs just started, is a fun section. A lot of precise movement in here. We'll start by entering the Sanctuary basement backwards, which will make these bugs a little more frustrating in their pattern, but there's a good setup for keeping them under control. For both the Twilights we are completing is for Breath of Twilight we are completing, we'll have to collect 16 Tears of Light from those little bugs. In Elden, they're pretty close together. In Linear Twilight coming up, they're more spread out. Golden, the main difference for this run on emulator versus console is just that emulator has faster loading times.
And also doesn't have lag.
Yep, input delay will be down to your particular setup, but generally anything that works on console works on emulator. And in fact, we've kind of set up our emulator rule set to avoid the chance that there would be things that work on emulator and don't work on console. Gotta keep it consistent. There are a couple extremely minor differences because of how we time emulator runs. We use loads remove time for emulator, and that just changes a couple strats in a couple places where it's slightly faster to save and reload rather than backtracking, but very minor stuff. You could play the same run on both platforms. Anyways, Anno now warping directly to Kakariko. So we'll see the routes meet up again at this point. And I believe Anno now about 2.5 minutes back.
Yes. That's about it, yeah. 2 minutes, 38 seconds. No golding his enter graveyards, please.
Yeah, he's got a couple of those. I forget if the Japanese text is faster, but the Japanese version on GameCube is very much not faster for the speedrun because there are a couple glitches that don't work on it.
Most notably map glitch, which we will do later in the run 2 times, I think.
Yep. We'll use it to climb Snow Peak without the Reef Scent, and we'll also use it later to get into Bulblin Camp faster. Technically, with modern strategies, you can have a good run on the Japanese version, but it's significantly harder, and the language differences in TP are not very big because most of the text you can just mash through rather than having to wait for it. Jeezhs now demonstrating one of the larger text differences. The high-value rupee text is extremely long on the French version for some reason. Obviously, since he doesn't need the rupees at all, he'd really have rather to not get that, but it's kind of RNG whether you get a blue rupee from that pot, and if you do, it's very hard to avoid.
It's more annoying, timeless.
Anyways, Anno now going through the Elden Hotel. We'll see him picking up another 10 rupees here. He eventually needs 300 by the end of the run. And some slick movement to get out without having to climb those ledges, which takes a few seconds. A nice quick climb from Jeezhs there. Sometimes when you're climbing a ledge right next to a corner, if you angle Link into the corner in the right way, you can kind of pop up instead of getting the full climb.
Jump attack didn't work.
Why is Anno playing on English? I'm not sure. Maybe he's frustrated about Swiss being unreliable.
Just wants to make this more fair. But the
As we
language.
said, it's not a big deal. English is only a couple seconds slower.
Yeah, that's mostly because some versions were released a bit later than others, and so Nintendo has already patched glitches that were discovered very early in the time, and map glitch is one of them.
Yep, exactly. The Wii Korean version came out like a couple years after the game was initially released, and you can't do anything on that. However, it is extremely fast for glitchless for some reason. I think it is just because of the text. But it's not fast for any other category because you basically have to do glitchless.
I actually never looked into the Korean Wii version.
And
Was it
yeah,
also
it's a
Korean
little,
GameCube
it's
version?
difficult to get your hands on. No, just Wii.
Alright.
Anorakkis managing to avoid the blue rupee text with a back hop over the rupee. You collect it at certain points in Link's animation, the text doesn't appear. And Jeezhs now on his way to start Lanayru Twilight proper. The two of us only do Twilight Princess. I don't know anything about other Zelda speedruns.
Same here.
Also, no, there are a number of tricks that don't work on the HD version. Most notably, early Master Sword, which you saw near the beginning of the run, cannot be done.
Does Back in Time work on HD?
No.
Okay. Fair.
No back in time, no EMS, I think no map glitch. There are a couple of neat HD exclusive tricks like gate unloading, which is pretty cool.
Or shenanigans? I don't know.
Well, we don't know anything useful you can do with aura duping,
That's right.
but it is fun.
Sadly.
Really, the largest version difference is actually against the Wii version, which can't do boomerang long jump attacks. Low percent does not do Wolfo's jump. Low percent can't do Wolfo's jump. You don't have mid-non back there. You can lock your channel points by closing Twitch and not watching the stream anymore. Anyways, let's see how Jeezhs does with the Lake Hylia Messenger fight. This one can be frustrating when it goes wrong. For all of these Shadow Beast fights, the trick is you have to kill the last two of them with the same attack, with one notable exception we'll get to. But, no, they're very nice to Jeezhs there. Wow.
Yeah, that could
For
be
that one,
worse.
the last pair of messengers you want to kill can actually end up too far away from each other, and you can't hit them with the same charge attack. Yeah, nice movement from Jeezhs over the stepping stones there. Again, a little precise, and falling down into the water loses 30 seconds or so it's important to be careful. Yeah, you can also bonk the charge attack on that barrier in the middle. Lots of fun ways to
Exactly.
get it wrong. And nice wall bug from Jeezhs there. That one can
That
kind of
was
go wherever
very
it feels like. And now we'll see him jumping into the water here with iron boots to avoid a cutscene where Rutella would tell him how to get the Zora armor. We don't need the Zora armor, and even if we did, we know where it is already. Nice waterfall side hop from Jeezhs there. That's a 3-frame window to get down onto the sledge here and avoid having to jump up from the bottom. And yeah, as Tuffy mentioned, Anno got a 1-frame side hop out of the meteor cutscene that skips some bin attacks. Also has the side effect of not updating the map to reflect that the ice has been melted. So on the mini-map, there will be no water in Lake Hylia for Anno for the rest of the game. And nice lily pad bugs from Jeezhs here too.
Could be worse. Cringy.
Yeah, those guys can kind of go wherever they want. It's very frustrating.
Or just under the water and stay there for all so long.
And good side hop down after that bug there. You'll see a couple places where we side hop as Wolf to jump down long distances. It's actually slightly faster than a dash jump or a jump attack or something.
I did not know you can side hopping there as fast. I usually try to dash there, but that makes sense. This
Yeah,
angle
you
is
see
just
it.
pretty bad for dashing.
You see it there, and you also see it after Elden Watchtower.
I knew
Yeah.
about the Iden Watchtower one, but I didn't know about that one. That's cool to know.
Anno is about to demonstrate. Oh nope, he got it.
That was close! You hit the wall there.
He was about a pixel away from bonking that, I'm pretty sure. I believe both runners are playing on Wii consoles, although they are running the GameCube version. Do not remember what both use for capture setup off the top of my head, though it doesn't really matter. Anyways, Jeezhs now gets to Wolfdash for a few minutes. Running down to Castletown.
Just dashing to nothingness.
You can notice that he's panned the camera down during that section. That's actually for lag management. You'll see that in a couple other spots. And let's see, Anno's waterfall side hop. Never mind.
He doesn't want to.
Yep, that's the other strat there. It's much easier than waterfall side hop. There's no 3-frame window. And good movement to get the cycle on that bug there.
Nice.
You can see at that point Jeezhs being careful to target the messengers in a particular order so that he doesn't bonk the charge attack on the wall in the middle there, which would interrupt it and reset the fight.
Yeah, the last one targeted with the midnight charge is the one getting attacked first, so this is why he tries to target the one
And nice
he
rupees,
doesn't
Anno.
want to go to first. Yeah, that were some good rubies.
Yep, I always remember it as like when you have the messengers near a wall, you want to target them inside to outside. And Jeezhs finally getting the Castletown bug. This is basically the only reason we had to do all of that wolf dashing. And only a couple tiers left for Jeezhs and 1 hour Twilight now.
Yes. I mean, technically, they're currently 1 buck apart.
Anyways, it's now time for Anno to run in a straight line for 2 minutes. ad-free race. No, actually, I have a sponsorship. This race has been brought to you by. This race has been brought to you by a brand of energy drink that they haven't paid me to name, so I won't. On account of waking up about half an hour before it started because I forgot.
Yeah, you still made it.
I'm here. I'm commentating. Maybe. Anyways, we just saw Jeezhs finish the Anorakkis flight bugs, and he's intentionally failed the flight at that point because he actually wants to go back to the start. It's the easiest way to get to this second to last bug, which unfortunately bad spawn on it.
And yeah, it's on a very remote island, so this is just a quick way to get here instead of dashing.
Yep, the exact position of the bug is random, so it can be a little annoying to find at that point. And you'll see Anorakkis repeatedly dash canceling through Castletown for the highest wolf speed because Link's dash speed is extremely low in Castletown for whatever reason. Jeezhs, meanwhile, fighting the big bug at the end of Linear Twilight. He's doing a manipulation here to try to get it to attack from a certain direction. And nice quick cycle. That just skips an animation of the bug kind of flying back up and coming down again, like it did the first time. Hopefully he'll get that again.
This could also be very annoying if the bug is a bit too low and also like clipped inside the wood thing.
Yep, that can cause trouble, but it looks good.
Cancel.
And we'll see him do this last charge attack from a precise position to skip the animation of Link kind of bouncing around between all of the bug's tentacles. And Jeezhs done with Linear Twilight. You saw him spin the camera there just to get a bit less lag during that ending cutscene. So he's now into kind of one of the more interesting segments of the empty Lake Hylia route. This will be where Lake Hylia gets emptied.
First we will get bombs, right?
First we will howl.
Oh, how?
We have a few errands coming down from Zora's domain to take care of. Normally you're supposed to get the ending blow, the first hidden skill from a golden wolf, outside Forest Temple after beating Fair and Twilight. We didn't beat Fair and Twilight, so we'll have to get it from somewhere else. And it is required to beat the game. You cannot kill Ganondorf without the ending blow.
This is the only reason why we get the ending blow.
Yep. If we didn't have to do that, it would save a couple minutes, really.
At least it isn't as painful as the ball and chain.
Yep. Jeezhs also taking some intentional damage there. He's going to be death warping later. I have no idea what average time for this category is. I think we can expect both runners to end up somewhere around the 3-hour mark.
There are actually stats for this. Wait, let me see.
Oh, true. I guess we have the average Wolfdash time.
Average Wolfdash race time. Let me see. For Anno, average is 2:58:55, and for Jeezhs is 2:57:08.
Oh, there you go. Jeezhs now looking at a dog, and now 2 dogs. Ooh, and Anno unfortunately backflipping off the edge of the water there and having some trouble with the bug. And oh, nice save. Jeezhs now done with howling. His next step is to get bombs. A nice 1-frame side hop there before the map comes up. is actually going to steal bombs from Jeezhs here. Normally she will lend him a bomb bag while he's inside the hut, but by starting this messenger fight as Wolf, we can actually kind of break things a little.
Sadly, Anno got the thing I was referring to. The bug was too low and the
Oh,
attack
that's unfortunate.
cancelled immediately.
Now, this messenger fight will be a little difficult. We don't have mid on our back, so we can't do the mid to charge, which is how so this only way we're supposed to be able to beat messengers is Wolf. But with a precise sequence of attacks, we can actually do it normally. And this kind of breaks Jeezhs' dialogue. You're supposed to only be able to do that fight as human, because Jeezhs won't let you transform. And basically what this means is that now anytime Jeezhs comes to Upper Zora's River, she will lend him another bomb bag. And if she lends us enough bomb bags, the bomb bag stops becoming lent and will remain in the inventory permanently. And I suspect we'll also see Anno jumping down for some rupees here in addition to trying to take damage.
Oh yeah, the 2 yellows.
Very nice. And he's got over 60 rupees, so we'll save a bit of time in Arbor's grounds later. Anyways, she's now warping to Lake Hylia.
Hopefully avoiding the plum cutscene.
Looks
Nice.
good. Yep. Those precise jumps avoided a few second cutscene of Plum the bird coming down and telling him about the minigame that he's just started. He doesn't really care about the rules of the minigame, however, because all he's actually trying to do here is clip out of bounds. Which will allow him to die in the minigame, which you're not supposed to be able to do. And anytime you die in Zora's River, the game actually puts you back in, like, Hylia. But since we're between Lanayra Twilight and getting the Zora armor, this will additionally maintain the map layer from Zora's River when we load back into Lake Hylia. And the problem with that is you're not supposed to be able to load this map layer, and there's no water.
Yeah, someone has just despawned everything of it. Or maybe even drank all of it, I don't know.
I'm staying hydrated.
Someone was thirsty, probably.
But yeah, this is important because, you know, we want to go to Lakebed Temple. It's required to beat the game. And we now see Jeezhs having trouble with the setup. The entrance to Lakebed is very high off the ground, so we actually need to get in there with a fairly precise bomb boost.
Wait, is this a backup?
Yep, he's going for a backup.
Oh, I didn't know about a backup with this.
It's pretty new.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's
I
see if
hope
it
that
pays
this
off.
works.
Very nice.
Let's go. Oh my god, I've never seen this. This
In
is
addition to
cool.
the precise setup, that bomb boost at the end is a 3-frame window, so not an easy trick at all. Anyways, she's now save warping to get to the start of Lakebed proper. We don't have enough air to swim through the tunnel. But since we do have the Master Sword, the game will actually just put us right there if we save and reload.
Did Anno just...
And oh, nice jump. That's so good. That's so good.
Didn't know that could be consistent. Cool. That's nice movement.
That's something Jeezhs does from the IL run, I'm sure of it. Yeah, just I assume very precise movement to get to that switch faster.
Of course, also on the way there, you're seeing Jeezhs is dropping bombs. And that is because we want to empty our bomb bag to collect water bombs later after Decotoad, because we need to perform a glitch in Morphle, in the Morphle boss fight to get air back.
Yeah, that sounds about right, Prince, but Jeezhs is practiced. Jeezhs, I believe, still holds the world record for every individual level speedrun in Twilight Princess, so he goes for that kind of strat. Let's see how Anorakkis does with the out of bounds here. Very nice. Jeezhs, meanwhile, heading to Decotoad for the claw shot.
We still keep our boss flag that we already got from the Forest Temple back in time, and this will also not only result in the monkey spawning, but also we can just look at the ceiling and then just get warped into the Decotoad fight. So yeah, we are just ignoring that this gate is here.
Yep, you're not normally supposed to be able to start the fight from that part of the room, and very nice zero cycle from Jeezhs there.
Beautiful.
Precise sequence of inputs to get the...
Oh
man.
I didn't
that's
know
pretty good.
about the bomb strat. Okay, that is cool. Okay, that's insanely fast.
That
Is this
is
gonna gold?
That is a very nice Decotoad fight. Anyways, let's see if Anno gets the bomb boost here, using the normal setup.
Oh, this is not even gonna gold.
Very nice.
Well, nice. Well, we are having a race.
Yeah, this is a good one. Anyways, Jeezhs will now be making his way to Morphle. On the empty Lake Hylia route, we can complete Lake Bed Temple in one trip. We don't have to get Uku. Now, normally you're supposed to use the Zora armor to defeat Morphle because the fight takes place entirely underwater. But as we'll see in a minute, water bombs are kind of like the Zora armor.
No difference at all.
And good... Oh, no.
Oh.
Why did I say anything?
I did not know about this. Oh.
I don't think Anno was expecting to get the ledge grab there, so he just hit A again and ended up dropping down. G's unfortunately having trouble with the Lakebed boss key skip. What he's trying to do here is clip into and then under the bridge to get into the entrance to Morphle's arena without having the boss key. This is the only boss key we can skip in the game, other than by not fighting the boss at all. Oh, jeez.
Damn.
It's really giving him a hard time. Anyways, it's nice that we can skip this boss key because it's also very far out of the way if we were to get it. Lakebed Temple takes like 15 minutes in glitchless. That should work. There we go.
Nice.
Most of the time in Twilight Princess, if you have a door that you load through, you have to actually open the door. Like, if you were to get behind the door, you'd just be behind the door. And in fact, you could open it from the other side, and we'll see that in a couple spots. But for Morphle's Arena, they want to make sure you know that you're going down to Morphle's Arena, so you drop in the hole. Nice Decotoad zero cycle from Anorakkis as well. I suspect we won't see him do the bomb. Ooh, and unfortunately not getting the attacks to finish the fight quickly. Thankfully he does have one bomb left, so he can deck your Toad back down again immediately. And Jeezhs now through the first phase of Morphle. You can see he's pulled out a water bomb and unequipped the iron boots from the item wheel at the same time. That allows him to swim with it. You're not supposed to be able to swim with water bombs. That's a glitch. And the nice part about that glitch is when we release the water bomb, it'll actually refill the air meter, because Link goes into a standing animation for a couple frames. And that's how we're going to do this entire fight.
The game just assumes you're standing on ground, so yeah, just refill your air.
Ideally, we'll see both runners using 2 bombs to defeat Morphle, using another trick to get a re-grab after the second cycle.
And this Morphle is just going to recur.
Yep, that's it. Anno forgetting that this is not the first time he's come to like Bed Temple and he doesn't have to pull the switch again. And very nice Jeezhs. Force unequipping the iron boots again to get off Morphle's back quickly and re-grab with the claw shot to finish the fight.
That was pretty good.
Yep, not bad. Did use an extra bomb, but very fast for a 3 bomb.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't really do anything about the small RNG. That was just horrible. But it's still
a
pretty
bad
good
pattern
than
for sure.
doing it with just 3 bombs.
Now, Anno saving a bit of time here with a fast boss key skip. Could definitely pick up a bit here if he has a good Morphle as well. So let's see how it goes. Good first hit there.
Alright. Let's hope.
Again, with the Master Sword, we can get a fast first cycle on Morphle there, which is important because if we needed 2 cycles on Morphle, it actually gets much harder to do without the Zora armor.
Yeah, I know, slowly catching up. This is still a very good race. Just 1 Morphle apart.
And Jeezhs now wolf dashing again. We once again have to go to Castletown.
This time Morphle isn't searching through the entire room.
Yep, if Anno gets a good re-grab here, he'll have had a good fight. And very nice. So Anno will be saving a couple more seconds over Jeezhs there. We'll see exactly what the gap is once he leaves.
She's deciding not to go into Castletown.
Yeah, for whatever reason, some of those loading transitions have like a couple frames where after you load, where the loading transition is going to happen, but you still have control over Link.
see if Jeezhs can get kite glitch. That isn't it.
Yep, if you enter that cutscene in a particular way, you can actually end up with the camera locked, which saves like 1.2 seconds or something.
I'm not sure.
More importantly, it looks
I've
funny.
never looked into this. Yeah, more of a meme glitch than a time saver.
So it looks like Anno about 2.5 minutes behind at this point. And let's see. Jeezhs opting to not go for rope skip here. And both runners into MDH now, of course. Yep, we will see the Golden Wolf properly later, but if we were to... Yeah, we do need to get the ending blow from that Golden Wolf at some point, but if we were to do it right now, it would be a massive time loss for reasons that will become apparent later.
Yes.
Um,
I've done that mistake before.
Shoutouts to Badamja. I'll guess both runners are going to be attempting the exact same set of tricks. We have lots of... You don't need to study other people's runs for that. We have lots of very good documentation online, but definitely watching other people's segments to see where you can improve on movement is a big thing. And Anno, unfortunately, also not getting Louise glitch. And Jeezhs in the MDH tower climb. It's actually surprisingly easy to just jump all the way down here and lose time. This happens in my nightmares.
And also the hitbox of the rope can be very bad.
Yep, and nice jumps to skip that last section of rope climbing there.
Yeah, that was a pretty good tower.
And we'll see if he gets the wind cycle here.
Do you know if Anno does the jump on rooftops again?
He does. And nice bridge there. The collision on that bridge is notoriously wonky. It's possible to have Link, like, turn around or get a weird ledge grab, or sometimes just fall all the way through the bridge without landing on it.
Yeah.
But hopefully we won't
Especially
see
the
any of
ledge
that
grabs,
today.
they are funny if they happen.
So now Jeezhs will be getting the ending blow. This is the closest we will ever be to that Golden Wolf. Interestingly, since we aren't getting Ending Blow from the intended source, Link's spawn position in that cutscene is slightly different, which means we can hit the hero's shade with a B attack instead of a jump attack. Tiny bit faster. Interestingly, despite only having just now learned the Ending Blow, we have used the Ending Blow kind of twice already in the run, because in a couple spots the game will give you the prompt even if you don't have the hidden skill. Since, in theory, you're supposed to be unable to avoid getting it. But you saw there that after Jeezhs finished the Ending Blow sequence, he actually ended up warped back to Farron Woods. That's why we couldn't do it in mid-Desperate Hour, because we can't warp during that time and would have to run all the way back down to Lake Hylia. And Anorakkis is now 2 for 2 on the stupid jump that only Anorakkis goes for. Also no trouble with the bridge.
Amazing. They both have pretty good MDH with this.
I will clarify, I'm not just being mean to Anno when I call it that. That's what he calls it. G's now performing map glitch. He's interrupting a warp by calling Midna on the same frame here, and that kind of leaves the game in a weird state where he can't void out anymore, among a couple other things. And that means he can climb Snow Peak without having the reek fish sent, which he doesn't want and can't get. Yeah, go play Twilight Princess, dude. It's a fun game.
Oh
There's
yeah, I love
a
this
lot
game.
more of it than what you're seeing in the speedrun as well.
A lot more. I mean, even though it's one of the longer any percent Zelda games, even though
It really
I'm
is.
not sure is Twilight Princess even the longest game in terms of any percent.
It's the longest non-remake any percent speedrun.
Non-remake, yeah, okay.
Skyward Sword HD is longer.
Ah, yeah, completely forgot about it. It doesn't have back in time. Yeah, that makes sense.
But disregarding HD re-releases, TP is the longest. Anyways, G's now howling at the Snow Peak Howling Stone to clear map glitch, which would otherwise prevent him from leaving the area. And hopefully no trouble from the keys here in the connection cave. And he's making sure of it with that spin attack. Now he's going to do another LJ to skip the Snow Peak Shadow Beast fight. We don't need to come back here, so there's no need to get the portal. Though this will, as a side effect, make the snowboarding sequence a bit harder, as you'll see in a second. He's unfortunately declining to go on a spiritual journey with Yeto.
We're now coming to blind snowboarding.
Yep, since we didn't beat the messengers, this area is kind of still in its original state with this thick wall of fog here. There are also some actors that haven't loaded in, so Jeezhs will be unable to get the rupees that would normally spawn at this point. Obviously, he doesn't really mind that. But there are also a couple invisible walls that would otherwise be visible. Hopefully we won't see any of those.
Yeah, some collision of some objects is still there.
Yep, he's
And
just gone
also
past one.
there are also no rubies on the slide with this.
Yep, and Jeezhs taking a very aggressive path through snowboarding here. Using, presumably, the few visual cues he does have to keep himself aligned. Yeah, that's very nice. And nice jump attacks to skips. Oh.
Ah, not that second.
Now, that's the text he was trying to skip. Anyways, Jeezhs now on into Snow Peak Ruins. We only need, as with the Forest Temple, we only need a dungeon item here. We need the ball and chain. There's one required use of it later on. We don't need to beat the dungeon. And Snow Peak is broke enough that we don't really even need to do much of the dungeon to get to the ball and chain. Kind of one of the more puzzle-like dungeons casually, but we're just going to kind of clip through everything and go directly to Dark Hammer.
The most
Our second clip so far.
The most
There will be a third later.
Princess.
Absolutely. Yeah, in fact, if Jeezhs wanted to beat Snow Peak, it would only take him a couple more minutes. And in fact, not even the glitchless run, like, actually engages with the dungeon's mechanics like you're supposed to. And she's just in a one-frame drop off that ladder to get this freezer to stop spewing ice. And he's going to drop down to this other freezer blocking the door to Dark Hammer's room and just clip right through it. And now he'll be able to get the ball and chain. Anorakkis will also pick up 200 rupees in this section, but since Jeezhs is on the French version, he doesn't have to do that and can save a bit of time.
So I think the ball and chain takes us pretty fast in French.
Could be.
At least in the IELTS, Snow Peak is being run on French.
Oh, Hannah,
no.
unfortunately, bonking the snowboard.
And this is so slow.
Alright, well, he's back up to speed at least. Anyways, Jeezhs will now be heading on down towards Arbiter's Grounds. And I'm not attempting the tech skip there.
Alright, they are one Snow Peak apart.
Yeah, but Snow Peak takes 3 seconds, so that doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
You can see in a couple spots, Jeezhs is going into first person before transforming, which saves a few frames on camera movement. Yeah, nice jump up the ledge there. Next, he'll be climbing a ladder for 19 seconds.
Yeah, this is a pretty long ladder.
Looks like second try LFC from Anno there.
We are on 2 different ladders right now.
Yup, ladder sync.
I did actually not think that LFC takes longer than this ladder on our store.
Well, because you kind of have to climb the ladder twice in LFC. And Anna, unfortunately, having a little trouble with the freezer clip there. But he gets a second try. Looks good.
Darkhammer threw the opponent chain so high.
Yeah, that puts a little strange.
Probably
Jeezhs.
because Anno just side hopped.
Jeezhs going a bit early to skip that cutscene and opening the pause menu by mistake.
It
And
happens.
he's now made it to the desert for some more wolf dashing. We need to run all the way across the map here to get to Bulblin Camp.
Again, panning the camera down for lag reduction.
Yeah, exactly. And Anno unfortunately, getting the rupee tax for his 100 rupees.
So it hopped onto the table.
He'll be getting another 200 from the Snow Peak lobby.
100.
Yes. Whatever the number is. 200 total.
200 in total. Daily's rent.
Oh, nice.
I did not know you can do it like that. That's cool.
Alright, let's start doing that.
That's why I love commentating. I'm just seeing so many new things.
Anyways, G is now using his ball and chain to knock this fence down, which he's not supposed to have at this point. Something to clarify is that you're supposed to do Snow Peak after Arbiter's Grounds. We have done some sequence breaks.
So,
And now trying to clip past this fence here. Normally you're supposed to knock these down by riding a boar, but stealing the boar kind of takes a while. And we'll see another use of map glitch up here to skip moving through Bulblin Camp. Anorakkis now climbing the ladder for 19 seconds. And Jeezhs has now set map glitch, so he's trying to get out of bounds over here. The long jump attack. And ooh.
ah, no.
Yeah, this is rough.
That is annoying time loss.
Hopefully he gets it again. There we go.
Nice.
And then from here he'll be able to jump under the map to the trigger to start the third King Bulblin fight. Or what would be the third King Bulblin fight if we were playing casually.
Yeah, all those cutscene triggers extend very far downwards, so this makes it possible.
Yeah, very nice recovery from Jeezhs there once he fell down. That can get hairy. Anno now also wolf dashing.
That's
And
some
Jeezhs
wolf
now
dashing.
heading to Arbiter's Grounds. This is kind of the hardest dungeon in the current route. There's going to be a lot of movement here and a couple seriously difficult tricks.
Yeah, this movement in this dungeon is seriously hard. It's always awesome to see when runners do this dungeon very good, because it is a very hard segment. Also the one many runners try to practice a lot on, because movement is very insane here.
Yep, nice movement from Jeezhs there over to get up to that first ledge without using claw shot. Kind of precise with the roll position. And he'll now pick up the second small key of the run.
Nice clip from Ano.
And this is the one required use of the lantern in the game.
Wait, is it actually?
Yeah. Although it's if it wasn't required, we'd probably still get it. It's faster than skipping it. But if not for that door, low percent would skip the lantern.
That is so cool.
And it's hopefully Ano has better luck with this out of bounds movement here. Looks good.
But I'm just confused. Wait, how can you? Yeah, first off, how can you skip Lantern Puzzle in Forest Temple, and then also the cave in Forest Inferno?
The cave you would skip with an opponent out of bounds. I'm not sure about the lantern puzzle, but I know it's possible. I think what you would do is you would get the claw shot early and then go left side.
There's no way you can skip this with opponent on opponents, can you? Cave?
I can't remember.
The Farron Cave and the webs there.
I know there's some way to do it. Oh, it might be... Actually, I think what you would do is you would do New Game Plus and use bombs to blow up the webs.
Ah, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Anyways, we just saw Jeezhs do Po1 skip on the second try. That'll let him kind of do this first half of the dungeon backwards and avoid having to fight the first Po. And Ano using the claw shot to get across the sand in his first area here, a little more reliable. Fortunately, grabbing a moldorm there instead of the chain.
Oh wait, I'm not thinking. I think you can skip the lantern puzzle in Forest Temple because you can get the claw shot before you go to Forest Temple, right?
That's what I said.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Oh. Sorry.
And Jeezhs, they were doing some RNG manipulation to get the pose to spin faster on the second cycle. Very nice. You might get a sniffa here.
Oh, he also ripped off the saw with his ceiling above him, so the jump was a bit
Yeah,
smaller.
very fast Po 4 there. That's nice. This one, we call this one Po 4 because it would be the fourth Po encountered in a casual run. We're kind of doing the dungeon backwards.
Twilight Princess is a real puzzle.
Yeah, there's a lot of puzzling in this game. You haven't seen most of it because we've kind of been skipping through the puzzles, but both Lake Bed Temple and Snow Peak Ruins are very puzzly in a casual setting. He's getting the funny transform drop during the cutscene there.
Not only task does it.
And let's see, Anno's Po1 skip. Ooh, unfortunate. Hopefully you can recover this.
Yeah, it was too far on the right, so...
Well, people started doing it RTA after the task did it because it's funny.
Okay.
And unfortunately bad boomerang position for Anno there, didn't get the long jump.
That's nice.
That should work. There we go. And Jeezhs being careful with the bubbles in this room. If you kind of let them keep flying around, they could make it really hard to target the Poe for that last attack. But nice Poe 2 room.
Oh, and also this is another use of the lantern. Huh.
Sure, but you could skip that with the Poe slide.
Oh yeah, right. I'm stupid.
That you definitely won't see in the any
Yeah,
percent run. You can
that is something you don't see.
you can kind of skip the entire first half of this dungeon that the runners are going through here, but the trick used to do that takes 9 hours and 40 minutes, so you won't be seeing it in most speedruns. See how Anno does with Poe 4. Yep, good RNG manip as well. Don't worry, Golden, it's annoying in a speedrun too.
Definitely.
Some more bad RNG for Anno there. The Poe's just spun around for quite a while before stopping. Now, Jeezhs will be doing a charge attack on this redead. He's trying to set it up so that it hits twice, which looks like it did.
Very nice.
Since we're kind of coming through this room backwards, enemies don't really attack you like they're supposed to. So that other redead is actually just gonna kind of leave him alone.
Yeah,
Pretty
just
nice.
gonna be standing there. Doesn't care. I think the readers have like an activation radius and also only in the way they're looking at.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's all of them or just those specific ones in that room.
I mean, it's similar in Cave of Ordeal, so...
Could be. Anyways, Jeezhs now heading into the second half of the dungeon.
Yeah, we only need those 3 frames. Flames. Don't worry about the first one.
Yep, the game assumes that you have to beat Poe 1, so it doesn't really check whether you did or not. But of course, with Poe 1 skip, we can avoid doing that.
Twilight Princess did a lot of those oopsies.
Yep.
That allows
that's
us
why we
also
can
to
skip.
only... Yeah.
That's why we can skip entire dungeons, because the game just assumes you have to do them in sequence.
Yeah, instead of just doing the last one in order.
Anyways, Jeezhs now doing a clip to get the Arbiter's Crown's boss key early, and we'll be going through this room backwards and without the spinner. So, some flashy movement here to do that as quickly as possible. And we'll see if he goes for some brake slides. Very nice. For all of you Ocarina of Time fans, this is similar to a super slide. He's holding target and ESS down to give Link negative speed, which allows him to just kind of float through sand instead of trudging. Very clean movement there in this room. And Jeezhs now on his way to Death Sword, the Arbiter's Grounds mini-boss. This is the first of the two really difficult tricks in Arbiter's Grounds. He's going to be attempting a skip to avoid fighting the mini-boss and watching the very long post-mini-boss cutscene. Yeah, nice movement from Anorakkis there to get the right dash spacing to go across that chandelier there. It's a little thing, but it saves some time. Anyways, what Jeezhs will be doing now is transforming Wolf and tagging Death Sword with a charge attack. And if he releases it at just the right time, he can get a very large jump and actually get out of the Death Sword arena and get the spinner. That's very nice to get that first try.
Yeah, it happens rarely in a race. I'm surprised. Let's go.
It's not an easy trick. Unfortunately, the next trick Jeezhs is going to do is even harder. This time we can just cross the sand on the spinner, and nice auto roll there to avoid more trudging. And we saw Jeezhs attempting a brake slide there for roll spacing, but he kind of stopped it too early.
Oh look, they're in the same room. Say hi.
Yeah, they are. And I'm having a little trouble with the boss key clip, but figured it out. Anyways, Jeezhs now on his way to Stallard. Now, just like we could take advantage of the loading zone to Morpheal being always present with the boss key skip, the loading zone out of Stallard's room is also always present. And hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of that here to actually avoid the fight entirely. This trick coming up was thought to be task only for a long time. The recent developments have made it at least consistent once you're practiced at it, but it's still extremely difficult.
It's the pinner just a tool.
I mean, I guess. I don't really know what that means. So we will see Jeezhs have to start the fight normally, but then things are going to get a little strange. I mean, you can attack with it. It doesn't do much damage.
Pinner does deal damage, but it's not very significant. You can compare it to rolling with the iron boots.
Jeezhs has set up a precise angle there, and now he's gonna get a precise claw shot onto that Style Troop there to pull it into the corner. Normally, you're not supposed to be able to drag that guy around, but the trick called Claw Shot Actor Displacement, we can do it. And then a frame perfect Claw Shot L slide to clip into the wall there. And Anno, unfortunately, having a little trouble with Death Sword.
Attempt it again.
Let's see if Jeezhs gets the bomb boost. Very nice. So he's now out of bounds and can just roll to the loading zone and leave Stallard's room. See if Anno gets Death Sword skip the second try.
And
Yeah,
this
that
was
didn't
a
look
bit
right.
too weird with the wolf position, I don't know. This looks scuffed. Well,
Yeah, that's unfortunate. This should work if he gets the timing. There we go.
nice.
So yeah, you can see that one can be a little frustrating. But he's got the spinner. So it looks like the gap is actually widened a bit with Anno now. A little more than 4.5 minutes back. Especially with Jeezhs into endgame, he's going to have a hard time bringing this one back at this point.
Yeah. There are not too many major things that Jeezhs can really screw up.
Yeah, at this point, at this level, we expect both runners to be pretty consistent at the roughly hour left after Arbor's rounds. Anyways, he's now on his way to City in the Sky. He's doing a transform clip here to clip through the statue here. This is actually the single largest sequence break in the run. He's just avoided completing Snow Peak Ruins, completing Temple of Time, and doing the Skybook quest line. Forget exactly how much time that saves, but it's not a small amount. But damage, it looks like Jeezhs is 2 minutes behind PB about, and Anno is about 4 minutes 20 behind. Anyways, now watch Jeezhs' screen here, because he's going to be avoiding paying Fire 300 rupees that he doesn't have.
Yeah, Fire wants the 300 rubies. We say yes, but he of course doesn't want to repair it. But if we go to him again, then he will do it anyways, even though we don't have the rubies.
Yep, and this is due to a bug with how the text boxes are set up that only happens on the French localization, which is why Jeezhs is playing on that version. Anyways, let's see how Anno does on Stallard. I suspect he'll also be attempting Stallard skip. And he is. He's using a different setup to get the angle correct. And some more buffering for the vertical angle there. And, oh, unfortunately didn't quite get Joseph into the right position there, so he's going to have to try the trick again. That's unfortunate. Yes, Ghost Anno does have to collect 300 rupees, which is why he did. Which means he'll actually get from Arbiter's Grounds to City into the Sky a little faster than Jeezhs did. I'm not sure if that sword clank is going to be a problem.
I hope it's not, but I'm not sure.
Well, we'll find out in a second.
Apparently not.
Nope,
Okay.
that looks good.
I think it's only bad if you're in the air like jump slash. But
Could be. You can see he's using the boomerang here to keep Stallard from attacking.
Nice.
Yep, that's pretty nice. It's a lot faster than I could do it. Anyways, Jeezhs is trying to open this door from a kind of precise position to avoid a trigger that would turn on a big fan in the ceiling in the next room. We want to be able to claw shut up through there later, and hitting that trigger would lose a lot of time. Thankfully, it's pretty easy to avoid. And then unfortunately not quite getting the last pair of shadow bases there. That should work. There we go. And it is possible to skip the small key Jeezhs is about to get using a much more complicated application of that clawshot actor displacement trick we saw in Stallard's room, but at this point we consider that to be TAS only.
I mean, would be nice if someone could skip that, but
Yeah, I mean, if you do it, you get $100. Here's a bounty. Anyways, we'll now see him doing some precise movement onto this railing here to avoid a cutscene of Hargarok destroying the bridge. Well, that's one way to avoid the cutscene. Just has to try again. Yeah, it looks like he's going for the P-hat drop back up there. Very nice. That cutscene both takes a long time and actually, until we hit it, our save warp position is set to that chest we picked up the small key from instead of the start of the dungeon. That's a little faster to come back to later, so avoiding the cutscene saves even more time than it looks.
I don't know, going to entering City in the Sky and not scamming.
Yep, since he has 300 rupees, he can get Fire to fix the cannon the first time he talks to him. Saves about 17 seconds on that segment, although he's spent about 15 seconds collecting rupees elsewhere that Jeezhs didn't have to. Jeezhs now into the City in the Sky east side.
Did he pull out the boomerang while the key thing opened?
Yeah.
Where I opened the lock? I did not know that was possible.
Yeah, I think that I'm not entirely sure how it works. I've seen a couple people doing it.
Oh wait, this is that are City in the Sky doors. You don't put away your weapon.
Oh, right. Yeah, duh, that's how it works. And Jeezhs unfortunately going for Tile Worm LJ and slightly missing it. Trying to do an enemy long jump attack rather than using the boomerang. A little faster. And so this time backing it up by going for the corner jump. Number of different ways you can move through this room. Kind of down to runner's preference which one you go for, although Tile Worm LJ is slightly faster. Nice one-frame jump attack. Meanwhile, Anorakkis is looking at a chicken.
Man chicken.
And this room, we'll see Jeezhs trying to skip turning on some more fans with a precise jump coming up right now.
Baiting this jump can be annoying.
Yep, that looks good.
Very nice. Also getting
And
200 grab. Nice.
Yep. And you can see him putting on the iron boots during that fall just to drop down a little faster. Ooh,
Oh, no.
unfortunately, a little slow on the drop down there. Gets it done, though. Next, we'll be fighting Aralphos, the City in the Sky mini-boss for the double claw shots. And as kind of usual for this run, we're not actually going to fight him. Nice one-frame iron boots equipped there.
I love this.
Yeah, aside from the cutscene skip mishap, this has been a very solid segment for Jeezhs. So we'll see Jeezhs using a sword combo to get to precise position, and then probably, yep, doing an angle buffer to get a precise aim for the claw shot. And then he can just kind of claw shot all the way out of their Aralphos arena and directly to the double claw shot's chest.
I hope that didn't look scuffed at all. Like, yeah. This is how an angle setup looks in TP. Average.
Anno going for the no-look claw shot there and unfortunately not getting it. Hey, they're in the same room. See how Anorakkis does on the cutscene skip. Looks good, using a
Very
slightly
nice.
different... Oh!
Oh no. Ran too
That is an
far.
unfortunate auto jump there.
They were just in the same room. And no, not anymore. That's sad.
Anyways, we'll see Jeezhs going up through the ceiling because that fan was turned off from earlier.
And then we
We'll
are
let him get
gonna
to the
try
boss cave.
to go through the ceiling again.
Yep, shoutouts to In a Muffin Cup. This is a fairly precise claw shot through some meshing collision here. Very nice. And nice movement on the way down to get that auto roll instead of falling far enough to take damage.
And since we didn't activate the fans, we are gonna have to do a bit more weird movement here to just like go past everything.
Yep. Jeezhs going for the slightly safer right side strat here. Very nice. And now on into Fan Tower. This is a very aim intensive section, so hopefully he'll get through it quickly. And Anno going for the boomerang LJ there instead of Tile Worm. Nice pot warp. And Jeezhs unfortunately needing a second cycle on this fan. Hopefully he'll get back on it. Should be good. Very nice.
Very nice. This is precise.
And Jeezhs getting a kind of precise vertical aim on that claw shot to avoid Link turning around before he falls down.
I was just thinking, why didn't he turn around? But that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a couple of visual cues you can look for to make sure you get it. And nice one-frame roll in that cutscene there. Really getting a lot of those today. And then a precise claw shot to get as far up on these vines as possible. Kind of taking advantage of how the claw shot is a bit longer in Anorakkis' room. And Anno being careful to not bonk on that door that's very easy to bonk on for some reason. He has enough health to do the skydive jump there. Just barely.
Yeah, sure.
And meanwhile, Jeezhs now into the Argrok fight. This is kind of an auto-scroller. It takes a while. There are long cutscenes in the middle. But we'll see him doing some fast aiming here to get a second cycle on the first phase. Very nice. And we'll see Anno's Argrok, or Aralfo skip. I think he still free aims for this, yep. And this might be trouble.
Yep.
It's like he's trying to...
Trying it again. Ooh, it might work.
Oh, or he might crush Void. There's a reason most players prefer the setup, but Anorakkis also runs the no save and quit category, which that setup doesn't work for esoteric reasons. Oh no! That's horrible.
Pretty bad. Oh no. And there we see the consequences of doing this
extremely unfortunate. He got the clip, but Aralfos hit him through the gate, or while he was claw shotting up, and since he was on a quarter heart, it's enough to kill him. Anyways, Jeezhs now voiding out at the start of Argrok's second phase to get a faster cycle. Now we're going to claw shot all the way up to the top of these pillars, and we'll see him doing some manipulation to get Argrok's fire breath attack to stop as soon as possible. Very nice. Yeah, much faster Aralfo skip for a mana the second time.
Nice.
I mean, he got it twice. That's twice as good as getting it once. Then for this last cycle on Argrok, it's going to be a tiny bit different because Argrok's going to do a different attack pattern, but Jeezhs knows that's coming. That looks good.
Very nice.
And Jeezhs now only has 2 dungeons left. See Anno's clip up to the boss key here. Very smooth.
All right.
So it looks like Anna will be going on the left side for the fans here. This will be fun because we'll get to see a very pretty looking double LJ in a minute. Here it comes. Ooh, and unfortunately, I think he targeted a tiny bit too far right on those.
Yeah,
on that second group.
that was too far to the right. Damn.
Good the second time though.
Nice.
And we'll see Jeezhs putting on the iron boots here before clash running up to the cannon. This will let him get a B attack during the drop down and avoid falling in the water. And he's now ready to go to the Palace of Twilight. The game would like you to get all 4 mirror shards before you go there. If you've only gotten 1, I think skip the other 3, but all it actually needs is you need to beat City in the Sky. This dungeon's interesting because it's mostly glitchless. There isn't a lot we can do here to save time outside of precise movement, so that's exactly what you're going to see. And Anode claw-shotting onto that target a little too high, so he did get the turnaround.
Now I know also to the auto-scroller boss. Also getting the wall. Very nice. Ah. For Palace of Twilight, there's sadly not too much that we can skip. This is the least broken dungeon, I believe. We still need to get every single small key in this dungeon because we can literally not skip any room or any of the souls.
Yep, 7 of them. More than half of the small keys in the run are in Palace of Twilight. Anyways, he's now into the first Phantom Zant fight. If everything goes well, this won't look like much, but he's trying to do a precise amount of damage to Phantom Zant on each cycle to avoid him going into a kind of teleport pattern.
Yeah, he tries for the first time and second time to just slash and spin attack 2 times. And for the last one, slash, spin attack, and again spin attack.
Yep, very nice. Meanwhile, I am now into the second phase of Anorakk. Jeezhs throwing the soul into the socket there to overlap the cutscene of the stairs appearing with this one. Just saves a bit of time. And nice throw there to get on the stairs as they come up rather than having to walk up. And we'll see him doing a claw shot L slide here again to try to skip some enemies. Looks good.
Yeah, those enemies can be very annoying. If you leave the soul on top of there, it's pretty damn bad.
Yeah, it can get silly.
It's a silly mistake, so thankfully we can get past those enemies.
Anyways, G is now done with the first wing of Palace of Twilight. Kind of unlike the other dungeons, Palace is sort of in 3 parts. There are 2 mini-boss fights, though they're also the same mini-boss. And Jeezhs has gotten into position to do an LJ here to skip riding this platform all the way over. And he's now entering what we call Stupid Room. Hopefully we won't see why.
This is a solid spawn.
Yep, very clean.
Oh, getting the auto spin, let's go. That was a clean stupid room. Hopefully reverse won't be stupid as well.
Yep. The spawn position of that Zant head is random. It can appear in 5 different spots, and falling off the platforms there will turn you into a wolf, and then you have to kind of start the room over again, so it can be very frustrating if it doesn't go well.
Very nice.
And Anno is warping to Zora's domain. That's an interesting choice. I don't think that's going to be very good for his warp mirror chamber split time.
Oh no. Yeah.
Now, an interesting tidbit there is that since they've done Stallard Skip, both runners are able to warp normally at this point. Otherwise, if they hadn't done Stallard Skip, Midna would be kind of yelling at them that they need to go raise the Mirror of Twilight, which they haven't done. In most cases, you would be able to bypass that just by kind of zooming in and back out on the map. Although that's also one of the things that doesn't work on the Japanese version.
Wait, it doesn't? Wow.
Yeah. So if you want to run JP, you basically, at least for a good time, you basically have to do
That is so mean, Nintendo.
Wolfo's jump and Stallard Skip.
Why do you patch glitches?
Beats me. And why do you pass those glitches? I guess if you did map glitch by mistake, it would probably suck. You can soft lock like that.
That's looking good.
Yep, nice quick kill on the sand head from Anno there. He's done a B attack into it at dash speed, which lets him get that double hit there. And good reverse stupid room from Jeezhs. It's less stupid the second time. And nice one frame throw with the soul there.
Jeezhs successfully acquiring the butter sword.
Yep, the dungeon item in Palace of Twilight is upgrading the Master Sword to the Light Sword, which will one-hit kill any Twilight enemy. Mostly just useful in the second half of the dungeon.
It is not useful anywhere else.
Yeah, technically some Hundo and all dungeons route, I think just all dungeons, get it for the Temple of Time messenger fight, but I think it's not like actually faster, it's just kind of fun. But yeah, it's not the most useful dungeon item. It's also not the least useful dungeon item.
Least useful by far, yeah.
I would say that prize goes to the Dominion Rod.
I mean, you could use the Dominion Rod to get carrying characters.
It doesn't
other
really
than
do a whole
that,
lot.
yeah, we have skips for everything the Dominion Rod needs.
And oh wow, weird soul puzzle from Jeezhs.
Yeah,
If he remembers this cutscene gives you analog glitch.
Long.
Jeezhs did not
then
remember that
analog
cutscene
glitch.
gives you analog glitch. And doing a out of bounds LJ there to just skip riding the platform again. There are going to be a couple more of those. True, Anno.
That is actually, you could use the fairy tears to 2-cycle Ganon in combination, Beast Ganon in combination with Mortar Draw.
True, but you can get fairy tears. You can get fairy tears for that other places. Hundo does
Yeah,
that.
sadly. There's just rare usually everywhere.
Yeah, and Hundo gets the Giovanni 20 bottle. Ooh, Anno almost having some trouble with Stupid Room. Lucky ledge grab there. Jeezhs, meanwhile, claw shotting up to the boss key here.
Nice.
And we saw Anorakkis grab those first two Shadow Beasts with the boomerang to make sure they're kind of aggroed on him. It's a little faster to get through that room. And Jeezhs having some trouble with the cards. Lucky heart there, at least.
Now trying to get the free aim claw shot into the target.
You gotta try. Anyways, this room Jeezhs is in now is a little difficult. There's a platform cycle at the top of the room that he's going to be trying to make. He'll be trying to move through it very quickly.
Very nice.
You can see him pulling the item wheel briefly to make sure the boomerang was actually out of bounds, which is required for that long jump attack to work. And then getting as close to the corner of this platform as possible. Jeezhs now helpfully pointing out the platform that is on the cycle. This should be good. Very clean.
Right, that's a nice early platforms room.
And one last LJ, just kept riding a platform. And now Jeezhs will get to demonstrate the awesome power of the light sword.
Cool, I can one-hit an enemy. It only would have taken
One hit.
one spin attack with the Master Sword before as well.
Yeah, I usually be attack the first one, which you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. But yeah, it doesn't actually help very much here. Obviously, as you can tell, Jeezhs knows exactly where and when these guys are going to spawn. Trying to get some
Master
health here.
Sword one-hit
Unfortunately.
these with the spin attack, so Light Sword is just useless.
Unfortunately, didn't get the fairy from the pot there. That's random chance. And Anno, unfortunately, jumping down.
That is bad, yeah. Needs to do this again.
I don't know. This is what we call a palace of practice situation. Cleaned it up fine though.
We also see the French text of Zand currently.
Oh yeah. Those text boxes are why it's not faster to run on French.
Yeah, I think Zand text alone loses 5 seconds.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, this boss fight against Zant is fun. It's 6 phases, the first 5 of which are similar to other bosses in the game, some of which we've even seen in the speedrun. The third one will be back in Morphill's arena, so we'll have to again do that trick with water bombs. And nice one
very
cycle there
nice.
from Jeezhs.
That is a
See.
2-frame window. Not
Yep.
easy to do.
He's doing a specific sword combo here to get the hits out on Zant as quickly as possible. And the same air refill trick we saw earlier in Morphill. And Anno now, with Light Sword, getting up into the Palace North Wing. This next phase will be in Ook's room. Can make this pretty fast with the ball and chain, and take advantage of Xant's predictable hopping patterns.
Now we come to the only requirement of the ball and chain, that being stunning Zant.
Yep. As far as we know, without the ball and chain, it's impossible to damage Zant in this phase. If we didn't have to do this, we would not need to go to Snow Peak Ruins. This is a callback to the Snow Peak Ruins boss, who we didn't fight. You do also need the ball and chain to beat her, but, you know, you don't need to do the fight in the first place, so it doesn't matter. Unfortunately, as far as we know, like, that's a, you know, code level limitation. There's no glitch we could find to otherwise damage Zant in this phase. We'd have to be able to skip Palace of Twilight entirely. Anyways, this last phase is interesting. We need to specifically be hitting Zant with the fourth part of a combo. If we do an earlier hit, he'll end up teleporting. And yeah, that is very clean. Yeah, good point, FX. If there was a Goma phase, it'd be so bad. We'd have to do Temple of Time.
You're happy they didn't do Naomagoma face. Yeah, that makes sense.
That would be interesting, because it probably... Well... Oh, yeah. Yeah, you might. I mean, that would basically just turn it into all dungeons.
That is right. Or dungeons except Snow Peak.
Yeah. Well, no, because you need to do Snow Peak for Temple of Time.
Wait, for real? Oh, come
I believe
on.
so.
Twilight
That's how you get to the
Princess
Grove 2
moment.
state. And Anno being careful dropping down here because he's only on one heart, and just jumping down from the boss key would kill him. Anyways, Jeezhs now on his way to Hyrule Castle, the final dungeon. Well, technically only Jeezhs is using the French version, but that's because there's a bug with the with some of the localizations that means that Jeezhs can avoid collecting any rupees over the course of the run. It's actually slightly slower due to other differences, but some runners prefer it because it's more consistent. Then Anno calling Midna there to get the Shadow Beast to drop faster, which makes the platform cycle a little easier.
We are now seeing the longest cutscene on the side of Jeezhs.
Yep, this is everyone's favorite part of the speedrun because you get to go to the bathroom. Yeah, the language differences in this game are so minimal that, like, oh no, oh, and he died.
And no, damn.
That's terrible.
That's gonna
That is
lose
so
a lot
unfortunate.
Of time.
Yeah, he must have just tapped A during the drop there and got the auto roll. That's so unfortunate. And getting transformed. Thankfully, he does know
Oh.
about the faster claw shot backup here. She's now into Hyrule Castle. This fight is supposed to take a bit, but Bomb makes it pretty easy. Then he'll be able to have an even easier time with the next barrier fight, just by rolling out of it before the barrier appears by skipping a cutscene. I kind of get the sense that the ability to skip cutscenes in TP was added a bit late in development because there are a couple like really weird glitches you can do with it. There's this stuff. There's this stuff, and then also actually that trick in the Forest Temple to get the monkeys early relies on skipping a cutscene. She's now fighting KB4. Interestingly, in Hyrule Castle there are 3 small keys, but it's actually intended that you only need to get 2 of them. So of course we will be. And Anna, unfortunately, having a little trouble getting the sword combo on Zant there.
Yeah, that RNG was bad.
Yeah,
He
really,
was,
really
Zant,
weird hop there.
was about to go to land and then just decided nope. Oh man.
What if I didn't do that?
Ah, unfortunate.
Anyway, she's getting the 3rd and final barrier skip in Hyrule Castle there. That one's a little more precise on the timing to skip the cutscene. And now he gets to fight the run's only Dark Nut.
Hello, Mr. Darkwood. Oh no, you're
This shouldn't
nearly
take very
already
long.
dead. Come on, Jeezhs, you don't even let him attack. Ah, there's one attack. Never mind. Okay, cool fight.
Yep, and we'll see him doing a setup here to get a no-look boomerang throw out of the cutscene to blow out that torch. Very nice. And we'll see if he goes for the fast lantern puzzle here. I believe he is. It's about half a second
Nice.
faster than the intended route, but a little more precise. If you miss any of those lantern swings, it can end up losing time. And he'll use his last bomb to deal with these Dynalphos. Why is the big key not required in Hyrule Castle? It is required. We're going to see Jeezhs get it in a few seconds.
Yeah, the big
It's alright.
is
It's alright.
very late in the dungeon.
This is a long run, and there's a lot to know about it.
Exactly. I mean, for anyone who's having questions, that's why we are here. To answer those questions.
Very nice final phase from Anna there. Jeezhs now watching a cutscene with an exploding bird.
Oh no, Zan just died. People said. Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Our random friends and with the bazooka.
I mean, it's good. It's good Ashe is there because we don't really have a good way to deal with those Bolan archers, so we could probably just dodge around them. He's now with the Hyrule Castle boss key. He has this last tower climb section left.
I'm just trying to imagine what if Link had a bazooka.
I mean, that's basically bomb arrows.
That's basically bomb arrows. Actually true, yeah.
You're supposed to take a precise and careful path through this room, but
We don't care.
by maintaining speed and rolling on a certain angle, you can just get across the falling blocks directly. And nice postman skip from Anno there. And we can just claw shot past this last dark nut and enter the boss door.
Yeah, very conveniently placed closure target.
Did Jesus roll his Hyrule Castle by 10 seconds? You know, it kind of looks like that.
It looks like that is.
That's pretty good.
Alright, time for Zelda.
Yep, this segment is completely RNG based. I was going to say we're
already
hoping
not
for 7
getting
cycles from
energy.
Zelda, but that's now impossible. Jeez, we'll see at least 8 attacks. And you can also see Jeezhs kind of trying to keep the camera pointed in certain directions to avoid lag. Burrito. Burrito.
Another one. Cool.
I believe that's number 6. And it'll be mile on into Hyrule Castle.
Aw, come on, Zelda.
Oh, that was cycle 7. That could have been a light ball.
Oh wait, that was cycle 7?
Yeah, so Jeezhs with the 8 cycle Zelda. Not bad. Only 1 extra attack from Zelda there. Good side hop to avoid getting hit by Beast Cannon there. And then he's doing a certain sword combo there to deal the maximum amount of damage possible on each cycle. Nice break slide from Anno there.
Trying to show off.
And Jeezhs keeping the camera against the wall to avoid lag and just timing that ball and chain throw.
Very nice.
And Beast Cannon is now one hit away from dead from Jeezhs. Unfortunately, that's as far as we can get him in the first 2 cycles. But it will mean that he gets a fast 3rd cycle here. Now, if he can get the grab.
Yes, Jeezhs, do some more break slides, or otherwise you won't win. And never mind, probably impossible to do without time anymore. Without timers.
Yeah, he won't really have many opportunities. Just horseback left, and then the final fight against Ganon.
I mean, he can show off against Ganon if he wants to.
He could break slide
probably
around
hard.
Ganondorf.
No,
not PB.
both of these winners are definitely not gonna PB.
In fact, we've just surpassed a Jeezhs PB time. Yep, as for bracket outcomes, assuming Jeezhs does win this race, he will move on to face Doopsy for losers bracket round 4, and Anorakkis will be eliminated. Jeezhs now 3 auto spins away from victory. Notably, nobody has ever choked on this section in a race before. Definitely not either of the runners that we were seeing here today.
Definitely not. Bunchies.
Good Dark Knot from Anno.
Nice.
And good
that's
Ganondorf from Jeezhs. Congratulations, Jeezhs.
Congratulations indeed.
Obviously, feel free to drop in for an interview.
Penalty of 10 minutes for no Iron Boots finish. Alright, Jeezhs.
Yeah, you can put the iron boots on before doing the ending blow, and then Link will continue to be wearing the iron boots through the credit sequence. Anyways, Anno's pretty close to done with his run.
Yeah, we'll keep watching.
Probably about 10 minutes left for him.
Roughly, yeah. Oh, it's those dudes again.
Fair enough, Anno. That's fair, especially considering is the first thing I would be asking you about is early platform room.
Yep.
I respect not wanting to deal with that.
Yeah, one trip lake bed is a thing currently. Because empty lake Hylia, it was known before, but it is known
Well, the
to be
setup is what
faster
made it
now.
useful.
Yeah, the setup.
But yes, Mythic, that's exactly what happened.
So with this, we don't need to get the Ukurin lake bed as well, since we have just one trip.
Yep, we
Saving
do it
about, I
after
think,
Lanayru Twilight.
I think it
18
saves about
seconds, I want to say,
18. Yeah.
with a couple other tricks that having bombs for the first half of Lake Bed lets you do. Yeah, in rando it would be, well, if you're starting with open world, you can't do it. It only works in between completing Lanayru Twilight and getting the Zora armor, or completing Lake Bed Temple. Like, it has to be in that
Yeah,
specific
that's
state.
why it doesn't work in random.
And I'm going for the spinner clip through the wall here. Fortunately, no luck with it.
That
And
looks
having ending
strange.
blow to
I feel like
Zelphus.
this Lizalfus just walked to the right there. Oh well.
Alright, and we'll see how Anno does with Zelda RNG.
Maybe he'll surpass Jeezhs in the 7th cycle. But first off, bonking into the door.
Oh, better start at least. And the being Ganondorf sees before he dies is Zant, without his mask on. And Zelda is now over there.
Come on. Swooping. Here's a light ball.
I believe it was Pigeon who found out you can actually get Zelda out of bounds and then have her do a light ball attack and you can't hit it. Which is frustrating.
Yeah,
So, be careful, everyone.
yeah, you sure this is the first time that it happened?
Probably not.
This is just the first time when I saw it and I was completely disgusted.
Have these races had a car crash yet? Yes, it's happened to both
Yes.
Quaid and Beast. And possibly others. Neither runner today went for car drowning, probably as a result of those.
Oh, nice strat, I know.
Yep, and I go from the stab back up for a B scan and flipping the wrong way there.
That was
Kind of a
very
recent
found
strat.
very recently. That was found recently, I think.
Yeah, it's very convenient.
Relatively. Yeah.
Previously, we'd have to roll around him to the other side, which is somewhat precise. It's not a lot of time to do it. Ooh,
Oh
unfortunate
my
there.
god. I didn't understand why bees can
Why
spawn
is he
there,
over
but I
there?
guess.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
There we go.
This bees cannon is stupid.
See how Anna does with horseback here? Looks good.
Yep.
Once you get the first hit, it usually goes pretty well. Oh, yep, a little bit of tricky turn there. Gets back on top of it though. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Typical horseback.
Well, you can get Zora armor and do one trick lake bed. That's what we call the intermediate route. It's actually very similar to empty lake Hylia. That's what I run these days. But it's not very fast to get the Zora armor. But Zora armor hasn't been fast for a while, ever since we found Stallard Skip RTA. Because that requires bombs.
Yes.
Stallard Skip is definitely terrifying. So I might at least try learning it once I get my notch calibration set up. Oh, the nice thing about Bite is that if you also suck at rupee roll, you don't have to do that either.
That is right. And GG to Anno.
All right. Yep, as I said, Jeezhs moves on to the next round of the losers bracket against Stoopsy. The winner of that will face Marco and then Wabi74.
Why didn't anyone yell at me about the audio?
What was wrong with the audio?
I didn't have it on Anno for like the entirety of like after Jeezhs
No.
finished. I'm
Oh,
fucking
no.
stupid. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that,
You
guys.
know, you won't do it again.
I won't. Well, let's not
It
say that.
happens.
That's fair. You probably will do it again.
Yeah, almost certainly. In fact. All right. Well, we don't really have an interview, but GG guys.
Yep, no interview. So,
Um,
yeah, is there, guys, if you're regular ZSR viewers, if something like this happens again, you know, give us a shout. We might just not know about it.
I'm extremely
Yeah.
stupid. You have to understand. All right, cool.
Anyways, yeah, sounds like no interview, so go ahead and take us out.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Appreciate coming by, hanging out with us here on ZSR. Right now we are going to head over to ZSR 2 because there's an MMR tournament thing going on. I don't know anything about that, but you know that's what we're gonna do. So, hope everybody enjoys their day. We will see you tomorrow, maybe for another Wolfdash race. We'll find out later. I think that's it. Bye.
See ya.